Hey guys, welcome to another episode of 99 Continues. This is High Score TJB alongside Legit Camel.
Hello.
And today we are talking about video game collecting, something that I love to do, as you know. I know you love or loved to do it too. I still have a collection, a very formidable collection. I think I'm hitting around 1,700 right now, which I am proud to say. I'm not bragging, just proud. There's a difference. Alongside a bunch of Nintendo Power magazines, pretty much video game memorabilia in any way, shape, or form. Like a bunch of promotional VHS tapes from Rareware that I love. I'm just throwing stuff out while I look around my room here. And something I like about video game collecting is there's so many different ways to do it. For example, I love to get pretty much anything. I want to have almost a video game library. In fact, anytime I hear somebody say, "Oh, have you ever heard of this game?" and I'm like, "No," they're like, "Oh, this was the best game ever, blah, blah, blah. I really remember it when I was a kid and stuff." I actually go out of my way to try and get that game. Because I feel like if somebody had memories with it, it's obviously a special game to them. And if anybody was to walk into my room, and I want them to be like, "Oh my god, I remember this game. This game was so good, so great," because there's a special childhood attachment people have to games, to where like it brings back those good memories, and like you could just see it in their face, and you can see their face light up when they see those old games that they loved and they've never seen or played in a long time. And I just love to recreate that moment for them. So I definitely try to one of the things I try and do when I collect is I try and get memories. As weird and creepy as that sounds, like I like to get cream of the crop and pretty much just everything in general.
Well, it's almost like a museum in here.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And I take that as a compliment.
Yeah, imagine like a historian like showing people throughout the museum and watching their faces light up when they see huge dinosaur sculptures. It's almost the same thing, right?
Yeah.
But anyways, you seem like more of an overall video game collector. Obviously, for me, I liked going into one genre because I was super just nostalgic with my collecting. I wanted to, go back in time, you know what I mean? It was just that feeling of nostalgia. I couldn't get enough of it.
Yeah.
Of just having the memories flood back when I would play an old game.
I know you're a PlayStation guy.
Yeah, so I collected a ton of PlayStation 1 games. I got rid of the collection, though, because I kind of realized that it wasn't reasonable to collect anymore.
It wasn't financially suitable for you at the time.
Yeah,
all video game collectors have done that. I'm on my third collection right now.
Right. So I mean, I'll probably end up coming back to it someday. I'm already at this point sitting here gosh, I'm missing some of these games that I used to have. I want to get some of them back. I might collect some of the more popular titles again so I can pop them in the PlayStation once in a while. I'll probably record some footage for some of these 99 Continues with it. But For me, the PlayStation wasn't my collection wasn't as much about what other people thought of it.
Mm-hmm.
When you were talking about people coming in and seeing your collection and just their faces lighting up. For me, it was all about being able to go back and even experience some of the games that I would see in commercials and old magazines and stuff.
Yeah.
And billboards that I was like, wow, I really want that game, and I never got the chance to play it, so I would love to go back. I loved to go back and buy one of those games. Medieval was a big game that I wanted to get for a long time. It took me forever to find a copy of it because I remember seeing commercials and stuff for it.
Yeah.
And magazine ads. And it looked awesome when I finally got it. It was good, but it wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be when I was a kid. But I mean, I was pretty happy with it, and that experience was just awesome, and I kept craving that, and that's what got me to keep collecting for the PlayStation.
I do the same exact thing because we were just talking about it earlier when I was playing Ren and Stimpy V-Idiots for the Super Nintendo. How I was at a yard sale once when I was 6, and I wanted Rocko's Modern Life for the Super Nintendo. And my mom was like, "No, you can't get that. It's stupid cartoon, bad cartoon. You're not allowed to watch it, so you're not allowed to get the game." Well, guess what, Mom? I'm 26. 20 years have passed. I'm going to get that game now. I'm looking for it. It's going to be mine. It's going to be in my collection. I'm going to play it. I'm going to put your picture right above the TV while I'm playing it, just to spite you. What? Can't tell me what to do. I'm a 26-year-old grown man.
Where do you think collecting is going nowadays? Do you think it is growing even more in popularity, or do you think it's kind of reaching a peak?
I think it's growing in popularity because I still talk to people who are like, "Oh yeah, I'm just now starting a collection." I still talk to people like that, but I believe that's a bad thing as well because these older games that like we said, there's many different ways to collect video games. Some people though like to get them just because of the money they're worth and to resell them, simply to resell. I do not do that. I refuse to do that. And I feel like if I want to go back to a game I played when I was younger, Contra, perfect example. I loved playing Contra. I genuinely loved playing Contra. Well, guess what? people realize how much Contra is worth and how it keeps on going up and up and up. So some people will buy like 5 or 6 copies of Contra just to sit on it to sell at a higher price and make a profit, which makes it more difficult for people like me who collect them to play them. And because of that, I believe, yes, video game collecting is going up in popularity, but it's also making it harder for those who have been or still are, you know, whatever, collecting video games.
Sad world we live in.
Yeah, like
I hate the resellers driving prices up. Contra isn't worth the price that it's being sold for.
no,
at
it's
all.
not.
There's
Great
so
game,
many copies of it.
great game, but not worth. I think last I saw it was $40 or $50.
I mean, that's insane to me with how many copies actually exist out there. It's kind of like how Super Mario Bros. 3 is, what, like 25 or something like that?
Yeah.
That's really high to me, too. It's like, geez, you know how many copies of this game exist? Like,
Exactly.
unbelievable how expensive this is.
People think something's rare just because people like it. No, that's not what makes it rare. What makes it rare is like a low print count or whatever, you know, like a low production count, you know, something like that makes it rare, or like a defect for some kind, I don't know, like on the label or something.
But I mean, if there is demand.
Yeah, I know. It's the whole, you know, buy and sell thing, capitalism, you know, go America, that kind of thing. But still, it sucks. And, like, I don't know, there's small groups of people like me who I refuse to buy at that price because I just refuse. I think that's a ridiculous number. But that does seem to be where it is going. And that's where it's been going for a couple of years now. It's getting worse and not getting better, sadly.
Just in my short, I mean, I'm not going to say short because I collected over like 5-year period or something like that. But over 5 years, when I first started collecting for the PS1, collecting wasn't even a thing yet. Like, people like Angry Video Game Nerd had just came out with some of their first episodes. Pat the NES Punk was just starting to get up on YouTube like a year after I started collecting. Collecting wasn't even a thing. And I was going on Amazon and I was ordering games off there. I was able to get like Spiral the Dragon, the first one, for like $10.
Yeah.
That's worth like 20 now. I got Spiral 2 for like 12 or something like that.
That's
they were
even
so
more.
cheap.
That's worth even more now.
Yeah. So, like, and then all of a sudden you fast forward 5 years, a lot of these games that I had collected from a long time ago bumped up their price by at least $15 for the more popular games, Crash Team Racing, the Spyro games, like, and then for the more expensive games like Tomba and stuff like that, and Klonoa was a big one too. Klonoa, I remember being $40 on Amazon, which I thought was too high for me. And you look at Klonoa now, that game's like $150 or something like that.
That's triple digit.
Yeah, it's insanity, and it's crazy to me how much video game prices have jumped just within 5 years in my PlayStation 1 game, not even in Nintendo games, you know? Just in the PlayStation 1.
It's happening all across the board, really. Because, I mean, think about it, like, of course I understand some games like Tomba. That was, like I said, low
Limited
production
print.
run.
Same with Klonoa.
Especially Tomba 2. So I understand those being worth more. But, like, Parappa the Rappa, I'm pretty sure that
one's
sold well
expensive
enough.
now.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's like $50. Easy. Castlevania 4 for the Super Nintendo, $50. About that. Like, some of the prices just get ridiculous, but nonetheless, I'm going to keep collecting. I'm just a very cheapskate collector. I have 1,700 games. I've spent, on average, I've spent less than $10 a game. On average. I do a lot of yard sale hunting.
That's the only way I feel like I'll start building up my collection, is if I get a sick deal at a yard sale or something like that. Eventually I'll start it up again. Probably not going to be anytime really soon here, but I miss my older games.
Yeah. Hey, this is High Score TJB. Thanks for watching. Be sure to comment, like, subscribe, like us on Facebook, like us on Twitter, tell your friends about us. Just anything to help get the word out, help get us some more subscriptions, likes, all that fun stuff. If you want to see any more videos, click any of the links shown here, and see you next time.